Hello and welcome to the show. We are back on Forza Horizon 3 for this week's Failrace versus the community, and as per usual, it is night time. I am gone for a Ford Falcon. In this particular set of races, the cars are all going to be using race tyres. They're built up to A class. They have to have race tyres. The rest of the upgrades, though, are up to whoever is building them. The hope with this one was it's very easy to have crazy powerful cars on this game. Very easy to have ridiculously, absurdly powerful cars. And by forcing us to build cars with race tyres, are we going to... No, it doesn't want to let me join that game, which is a little bit of a shame. Right, we're going to go around here. There we go. Now it'll let us into the event. Yeah, by forcing these cars to be fitted with race tyres, it means that, yeah, we should have some slightly more handling-based cars. There's still a lot of quite powerful vehicles out here, but it's not crazy levels of power. That all seems good to me. Let us go and, yeah, set this race up. My Ford has got, there we go, a Ford 437 horsepower. Not the most powerful car here. It does have a lot of torque, 553. It's also not too heavy. Full race weight reduction on this car. So it's down to 2,600 pounds. Although I wasn't able to upgrade the tyre width. I wanted to get a little bit more power in the car. So I opted to go for some power over the tyres, seeing as we were having to run with the race tyres. Yeah, it's kind of the compromised build that you're going to end up having to do with a car like this. And hopefully I can do well in the Ford. Who knows, really? This opening race is heading to the rolling Meadows circuit, a track that I can't particularly remember. So I am hoping that this one will be a nice track to drive around. We are starting off with some all-tarmac circuits, but these vehicles I'm likely to get mean at a later stage in this and have these, well, race tyre shod cars have to tackle some off-road stuff. Oh, I do remember this circuit now. This is the one where I spun the crazy Clio on. Right, where can we go into turn one? Nowhere. There's got a little bit of lag on the Integra. Sorry about that. I had the smallest bump, and then yeah, game was not quite sure where that car was wanting to be. In fact, the Acura is very bloody quick. It's trying to get up the inside. There we go. We've got around that corner. There's a Cobra on the grass. We will... Oh, there's someone in a tree as well. We will probably get up to a decent amount of speed. We don't seem to have the best acceleration here, but we do have some good top-end speed as we go around the outside of some stuff. The Holden is never, ever going to be able to stop that one. We will cut back to the inside. We're going to get alongside the Cobra as well. Yeah, we don't quite have the initial acceleration out of these corners, but once we do get going, it's not bad in the Ford. Now, this is where I had the almighty accident with the Renault. This is a little bit more drivable than that Clio. I got stuck on the outside of the Abarth, and that has cost me a position. How much speed dare I take through that corner? Well, about that much, really. The Integra has ended the opening lap looking at the back of a Ford. Everyone's gone very wide into the wall. I'm gonna go to the inside and get all of those places. I've got a race gearbox on this car. Gear ratios still don't feel particularly fantastic, but it might just be that I'm so used to these days driving cars with ludicrous amounts of power that that's just why it doesn't feel massively potent is perhaps the best way of describing it. Can we do anything here? No, I can't really. Oh, try to cut back to the inside of the Abarth. That one there is not going to work. I think it's the Volvo actually out in front and still leading the way. That's certainly not a bad thing. I mean, if I can't win, an 850R taking a victory would not be disappointing. As little Datsun up in the second place. I'm going to try and find a way past a very quick accelerating Abarth. The lots and lots of tyre smoke that you're seeing going on is... Oh, God, I'm not going to turn. Oh, we're going to have an Integra for company. I'm going to chase him across the road. And he's got his nose far enough alongside that I can't keep going. Oh, we're going to be as late as I dare on the brakes. I think that might have actually worked if we can quell the oversteer. Indeed, it has. Actually, quite quite an entertaining race. This is what happens when you have actually sensible cars on here. As I say that, we're going to go exploring. That was too much speed. I had to kind of give it a try, as, yeah, there are cars around here with similar power and far, far lighter than the Ford that are just that little bit quicker on the acceleration. I've got to try and make up my time carrying corner speed. The Bath is once more very wide. I'm going to be wide on the exit. I'm trying to get that power down again. Little bit of oversteer. The Acura made a very, very good move up the inside. Am I going to be able to fight him on the run down the hill? Maybe, but I'm going to be stuck trying to go the long way around at the bottom of the course, and he's going to be well clear by the time we get down here. I think I'm going way too early on the brakes for that first part. I can be braver on the first part. It's the second part that's the tighter bit of the course. I got it right initially, and then tried to put down a bit more power, and then we ended up out very wide, which was less than ideal. Okay, I'm going to take a really tight line through there. Don't get oversteer. Don't get oversteer forward. The Volvo is enjoying its little bit of freedom at the front. It's now a 4-car battle over second place. Where am I going to be able to find a way past? The Abarth going very sideways has opened the door up for me on the Integra. I'm going to pounce and take that one. I will take those opportunities when I can get them. I don't know where the Abarth might reappear in that, whether he's lagged out completely or whether it may just come out of like a ghost mode. And I pushed my luck massively into that corner. I think the Integra did as well. Think possibly the Abarth might have lagged out, which is a shame because that was a fantastically good race for that second spot. Well, that's slightly ruined a bit of the fun here. I got the speed through that part. Now I've got to really make sure that I get the car slowed for this part. The Datsun looks like an absolute handful. We've got a lap to find a way past a crazy Datsun. Will I be able to do it? I've got on the brakes a little bit too early. I was kind of judging based on the cars ahead of me. Probably not the greatest of ideas. Where can I get a move done? The Datsun gets off these corners really well. I've got to hope that he gets a big kick of oversteer somewhere. And have a very, very big kick of oversteer. I guess the Abarth technically could have missed a checkpoint if it wasn't lagging out. That could well be. It. The Datsun's had its big oversteering moment that I needed it to have. as I was saying, yeah, he got bounced on the way up that section, kind of trying to cut the corner, cut the hill a little bit, and that got a lot of airtime and put a Datsun very sideways. But he's going to have the acceleration on the Ford. He's going to try and do it the long way around the first part. He will be on the inside for the next bit, and he is through. Bugger, it's so tiny. It is so tiny compared to the Ford. Oh, I was trying to get myself across to the inside. That's actually cost me a lot more time. We're all going to get trained into that fight. The rod just got stuck on the back of the Datsun. That's a little bit annoying. Couldn't do it though. Couldn't do it. Yeah, I assume the Abarth is still there. I assume the Abarth must have missed a checkpoint at some point and didn't spot that one. Fastest lap will go to the Abarth by not very much. Very close between me and the Abarth in that one. That was an excellent race. That was a very, very, very good race. I was a little bit too close. If I'd been better positioned into those final couple of corners, I think I could have dived the Datsun and got that second place. Was not to be. The Volvo getting a good victory indeed here. I don't know if I've got enough XP to level up. We're just going to have a look. Oh, we do have enough XP to level up. Now, will the game give me the wheel spin now? Normally it does, but a few times lately it hasn't. Yes, it will. Let's see if we can get a car. Get a car? No? No, we're back to our normal wheel spin luck. After all of the fun of Enthusia on the live stream, no, we're back to our normal wheel spin luck. Our next race heads to a track that I keep forgetting is actually in the game, the Figure of 8 circuit out in the desert. I forget that there is a tarmac circuit out in the outback. There's not actually a crossover point on this. Yes, it is a Figure of 8, there's a bridge. Unfortunately, there is not a big crossover point a la Wreckfest. That would be quite an interesting race for Forza Horizon 3. Uh-oh, we're going to run out of road. Okay, we're fine. We're through. There's a horrible bump on that on that bridge that can easily catch cars out. The Civic's not still on my outside. That is good news. There we go. They've got some more speed. I knew they were going to come around there at some point. Would be struggling for grip on the inside of that corner. We've got a Cobra looking. Well, I found the Cobra. The Cobra found the door of the Ford. Can we? No, we can't quite get the run off the turn that is needed. We shall repay the favour with a little bit of a hurry-up bump, and then it is us around the outside, and we will, I think, make that move stick. The Evo, the Evo was wobbling its way around on the dirt out wide. The Abarth is very wide through there. The Sandman has pinned a Civic against the wall, and I'm going to try and take advantage of that, although I'm going to end up running really deep into the next corner. Couldn't take advantage of that. Couldn't take advantage of that at all. The Copra's come to say hello again, and that's cost me a place in all of that. Right. Well, we're in 5th place. I think there is definitely potential to progress up the order here. We're going to make that work around the outside. I think the Evo's got that little bit too much grip. We'll do Morse code on the bumper of the Evo. The Holden is all over the place. I'm covering the inside. I don't want the Shelby having a bigger dive. Not that there's a huge amount of space. We are going to get the Evo, move ourselves up into 4th, and then there is the squabble for the podium. The Holden is all sorts of sideways. I'm going to join in a little bit with the sort of sideways. I think I scared the Evo. End up back on track. Civic is making a break for it. The Holden is now up the inside with its impressive straight line speed, but it's going to end up in the trees and have to back out of that one. Probably a wise decision. Just see the train of cars that is going on behind me. Right, we need to not be going sideways. Bad Ford. Bad Ford. Bad Ford. Get out of the dirt. It's not a good place to be. And now focus. We shall focus on catching the Civic. If they're going to have some misfortune, this bow actually isn't too bad in normal cars. I drove it in this circuit in an aerial Nomad, and now that's me done for. I guess I risked a bit too much in trying to jump to the inside. I thought I clipped the banner. You only have to just clip the banner for it to register, and I thought that was enough. Apparently it wasn't. Sometimes the game's quite funny. Sometimes it's uber strict. I mean, that was it being uber strict with it. Other times, I mean, I've had it in the rally car build series where I have run the outside, around the outside, and clearly been on the outside of a flag, and it's been fine with it. So some checkpoints it gives you leeway, some it just, well, doesn't. Yeah, there's not been a good times for me. Neither good times for the RX-7, that by the looks of it found one of the indestructible trees around the place. Oh, I shouldn't be playing that game anymore. There's no point in risking that close to missing a checkpoint. Yeah, it's one of the things that can happen when you are pushing, when you're trying to make up that little bit of time. I guess we can still go for fastest lap. I do spy a certain bright yellow Evo up ahead that if I don't make any more mistakes through here, we might be able to potentially get. Someone else has done exactly the same thing. Integra is in a little bit of bother. Yeah, it's just people trying to, you're pushing the car, you're looking for that little advantage, every advantage that you can get, and you're asking a bit too much. It looks like it's still pretty close at the front between the Abarth. I'm just watching the split times between the Abarth and a Civic. It's holding fairly steady at around a second. We are out on the dirt. Third and fourth also pretty damn close in all of this. If I could just find a little bit of time, get up to the back of the Evo, or have the Evo make a little mistake somewhere, then the battle is coming back to me. I think they may have tangled up. Of course, I'm running in beautiful clean air. That's a not so beautiful concrete wall. I was running in beautiful clean air, and that is always better when it comes to lap time. If that ends up in the fence, that would have been a really nice lap. We are up to the back of the Evo. It's around the outside of turn 1. Got to think better of that one. Around the outside of turn 2, though, will work. Thank you very much. Big slide from the Falcon. I've got Forza Aero on the car. I've got front and rear aero. I was hoping to have a little bit more grip. Oh, we're going to get carted wide from that one. That's not very fair. For God's sake, now you've gone and let the Acura back pass. Yeah, I went for a dive, just couldn't slow it down in time. And when I'm stuck on the outside, it's just nothing that you can do at that point. Right, come back here, Integra. I want that 7th place. I would really quite like that 7th place. Although that car is quick, it's got good corner speed and actually pretty decent straight line speed. Now, I have been fast through here all race. I've pushed it as hard as I dare and just brushed the wall. It's not going to be enough. The Integra gets out of these corners well enough that I can't do anything. Bit of a shame. Not quite as good of a race as it could have been, that one. 103.0, I think, my fastest lap. Definitely could have gone quicker. Not sure I'm quite in the 101s. That 101.4 is very fast. Maybe a 102.4. Maybe I could have challenged that if I hadn't hit the wall at the at the end of that lap. That Integra is silly fast around here. Yeah, don't miss a checkpoint, really. The Civic did get victory in the end. Overtook somewhere around that that final lap, I think. Don't miss a checkpoint. It's a bad idea. Now, so far, we've been having quite a lot of fun racing with these, well, fully built race-style cars. And now we're going to ask them to tackle a rallycross course in the rain. The tyres are woefully unsuited to this sort of track. The Holden that was the Datsun that were all very sideways, are likely to have fun times in these conditions. I was hardly the most controlled of vehicles in previous ones. The Evo is going to be loving this when it gets to the dirt section. I have, for once, got a good starting spot on the grid, right at the very front. I've got to try and make the most of it, run away from the angry horde of cars. Now, there is quite a long back straight here that the Holden is just slithering its way down the straight. There is no grip in the Sandman whatsoever. I imagine to get the power in it, they've got race tyres on it, sure, but that's probably it, and they've left them at standard widths, and that thing is not looking like it has a huge amount of grip. This actually is not doing too badly out here on the dirt. This is surprisingly pleasant. I was expecting this to be a little bit more of a leery handful, because we are quite convincingly running away from the field. I think the Holden may have had an accident. That may have also helped me out if the Holden has had an accident and blocked the field for a little bit. That can allow me to run away at the front, although I think it's the Datsun and the Abarth that are the two cars coming to give chase. Can be braver, can be much braver through there. Very weird swapping sort of between Horizon 3 and Forza 6. You just get used to Horizon 3 with its huge amounts of grip, and then Forza 6, everything kind of just understeers in comparison. They just simply don't have the same levels of grip on there. And yeah, you can get away with quite a lot with these cars, even in the wet conditions here, with quite a powerful muscle car. Even on the dirt as well, you can carry plenty of speed around here. Now, I am being caught a little bit, so I think I'm going to have to start getting a bit braver through these sections. Although my car's really good on the dirt. My car is fantastic across the dirt bit. I've made up almost a second in those two corners. So the Ford is not amazing on the tarmac, but it turns out it is gloriously fast when it comes to the off-road section. That is not quite what I was expecting, with this thing having been, well, sliding its way around a lot of the previous two races, especially with the weather conditions that we have got going on at the moment. But as it turns out, we've actually done a really good first sector as well there. It is the little Datsun that is trying to chase me down. I know that thing has got a lot of acceleration, and I'm a little bit concerned about that, but if I can just keep carrying the speed when we get to the dirt. This is where the Datsun struggles with it being quite out of control. When you have as much power, probably 350 horsepower in something like that, maybe even up to 400, and you weigh as little as the Datsun, probably, but I would very much expect to still be rear-wheel drive. There is just no grip out there. I think it might have closed in a little bit better, a little bit more on that dirt section. Yeah, it's kind of holding, the gap is holding at 3 seconds. Is he going to be able to do anything in the final couple of laps? I mean, I've just really got to not do anything stupid. And I say that, but you've still got to push on. In a field as competitive as this, there is no room for complete caution, because otherwise you're just going to go too slow. There's also a very, very large gap in the field that makes me think there may have been a shunt at some point in all of this, because yeah, there is a huge gap from about 4th back There is, yeah, a very, very... Ooh, get up in the fence. That's not ideal, but still not massive gains from the car behind. Try and get on that power a little bit sooner. I'm leaving it in 4th gear, seeing if that works. On the acceleration down here, take out the fence on the way through, and then around the final corner once more. Last time I drove this circuit was in a wildly out of control Clio. This makes quite the change. Last time I seem to remember being sideways pretty much everywhere in an all-wheel drive Clio, and this in a Ford muscle car is a lot tamer. It's an awful lot tamer. We're going to use the footpath. Actually, this is the first time I've got that corner correct. I've carried as much speed as possible in the Ford, and it is showing. We're up to a 4-second lead now. Well, we've gone from one extreme to to the other with these races. We've gone from at the back of the field, having missed a checkpoint, to at the front of the field from a good grid spot and staying out of trouble and having a nice car. Apparently, the off-road stuff is really quite good on the Ford. Just don't cock up the final couple of corners. That is always important in any race. I don't want to get catapulted into the wall like I did with the jelly cars. We're around the final turn. It's going to be about 3.5 seconds as we cross the line and take a victory in the Ford. Very, very close fastest laps, in fact, between the top 3. It is close fastest laps, but I just had that. I got that advantage early on, and it's so difficult to make that sort of time up. You end up pushing, you end up making mistakes and risking and so on. So yeah, a very, very solid victory for the Falcon. Shelby Cobra coming in 5th place, narrowly beating the RX-7. Yeah, I think something might have gone on further back that caused some issues. I believe we might have a wheel spin. That's what the hope is anyway. We can potentially get a car of some description. A Horizon Edition car would be very, very nice. I've kind of got to the stage now where I've really given up hope of it, or given up expectation of even seeing one as a potential with these. We possibly might level up again as well at the end of the next race. I mean, an XJ220 is a nice car. Certainly wouldn't complain at that. If the wheel spin is no, but yeah, we're back to our normal luck. And to finish off, as if some rallycross wasn't mean enough for these vehicles, we have come to my favourite cross-country circuit of them all. The game is being really kind to me with starting positions on the grid. Don't know what on earth is going on here. However, it is being very nice. We're in 2nd. Yeah, this Rainforest cross-country is excellent fun. And hopefully the Ford will continue to be good when it comes to the dirt. This has got a lot of jumps. It's got some water to contend with and all sorts of other things as well. That who knows if the Ford is going to be compliant with. We will very, very quickly find out. We're side by side with a Mazda across that jump, but we have made up a position. There goes the Evo, comes shooting through. Does, I think, just make the checkpoint, but it's going to end up out very, very wide, so you don't have a very good run through the next turn. The Mazda is putting in a good showing at the moment. We're side by side, not quite into the final corner. Mazda backed out of it. I'm going way too sideways. I'm going to end up being sort of chased up the banking down there. Not really where you want your car to be going. Well, it seems to be me versus an RX-7 and a very, very, very quick accelerating Datsun behind me. I don't think the Mazda quite realised I was going to be on the outside. Datsun's going to get in a lot of trouble if he's not careful going up there, although does get away with it this time around. I'm going to sneak up the inside. Oh, sorry, Datsun. I did not quite realise how tight that corner was. Did not mean to put in the wrong side of the tree. We haven't got away with that one, though, quite neatly. The RX-7 very sideways at the bottom of the hill. I think we can probably catch up to him as we fly through the water. I imagine the water not much fun in the Datsun. Somehow I get the suspicion. Oh, no, bad Ford. Oh, spinning in front of the pack is always bad. Well, there goes my chances of chasing down the leader. Podium, Possibly. I mean, we have still got 3 laps. Anything is possible on a cross-country race. Yeah, I got away with kind of chucking into that corner last time out, but 2 times in a row, not quite. I'm a little bit nervous about jumping the inside of that corner too much. I feel like it's quite rough around there, and it'd be very easy to get the car sort of stuck in a ditch somewhere and have it spin or flip or whatever. Normally I'm okay with rolling, but when I'm actually trying to, you know, race vaguely seriously, or as seriously as you really do on Horizon 3, I would prefer not to have a tumbling Ford. On my hands, through the river we go. Now, we are actually pretty quick here. Again, I mean, the Ford is proving to be a surprisingly good choice. We were well, I say we were a long way back. We were a fair way back, having just spun the damn car last time around, but I'm right on the tail now of the Shelby. The Datsun has its moments of being very fast and then moments of being wildly out of control, I think, and yeah, it kind of evens itself out to be pretty quick over a lap, but I imagine quite a handful to drive. The Shelby, I imagine, is fairly similar to the Ford in many ways. This is quite a good 4-way battle we're about to have going on for the lead. The Shelby almost went round in front of me. Sorry about the little bit of a bump. Wasn't quite sure where he was going to end up. We are going to get stuck on the outside. I don't really want to be there. Datsun is to the lead. The RX-7, though, might be fighting back on the inside into the final corner. Shelby having exactly the same problems I did. Shelby's going to get to the lead, though. That is a great move. I wasn't thinking that car was going to quite pull that one off. The RX-7 is going to lose 3 places in one corner, having briefly retaken the lead. And it is the Cobra up in to first. The Datsun looking for a way past, although not quite as quick through that first corner as I was, but I'm in the ditch. Oh, I'm done for, I think. Again. Oh, I just can't catch a break on this circuit, and that was the fear with going up the inside. I was trying to avoid running into the side of the Datsun and hit a very, very large bump, and that's not helped either on the way down the hill, and Integra is now coming to join in the fun. Everybody looks like they've had their own troubles at the bottom of the hill, and somehow, having had an awful start to the lap, I'm going to find myself up into third. The Integra may well take that third place off of me if I can't get second off the Datsun. This is an excellent race with cars not at all built for off-roading, and on a track that is, oh no, put me the rocks. Oh, just got away with that. That was millimetres to spare before before the Ford ended up in a place it really did not want to be. Okay, one more time around this crazy circuit. Can I do anything about catching the Shelby? That is the question. Can I do anything about passing the Datsun as well as we fly our way down the course? The Datsun is going to try and get up the inside. I had a big counter steer, huge sideways moments from the Ford. That might possibly have cost me the opportunity, although both of them very awkwardly bounced across that section. Now, someone could get a really big oversteer moment and lose a heap of time. Oh, the Datsun's up the inside. The Datsun's going to get the victory. No, he's not. The Datsun hit the rocks. The Cobra. It was a great move from the Datsun, but I think he might have either got a bit too much oversteer or just not realised the rocks were there and trying to dive to the inside. And yeah, the Datsun, poor Datsun. I thought he'd got it. I thought he was going to get the run to the line, but no, he's going to have to settle for fourth, having got it clipped on the rocks. Me and the Integra setting, again, are really close lap times there between us. The Integra just taking. I don't know if that thing's front-wheel drive or not. If it is, it's doing bloody well around here. Surprisingly, yeah, the Ford really good off-road. I mean, considering I had very nearly spun at the final corner at one point, I thought I was going to be well out of the fight for the victory here after a very poor start. Yeah, the Ford's actually really good off-road. That is not kind of the result I was expecting to have with this car. I didn't really know what it was going to be if we kind of had it fight across some dirt. But yeah, this is very good on the dirt sections. On the tarmac sections, perhaps doesn't quite have the acceleration as some of the other cars. Still, though, not a bad vehicle. All in all, I am quite liking this A-Class Ford. We are going to get bugger all once more on the wheel spins. But yeah, some good racing from these slightly more race-prepared cars rather than just power-hungry monsters. These ones have proved to be, yeah, really rather entertaining fun. You can have some really exciting close racing on Horizon 3. However, that is going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I was really hoping the Evo was going to roll over. Until next time, goodbye.